The morning sun cut through the haze at Falcon Crest Airfield, a private airport where fortunes flew in and secrets landed quietly. A beat-up pickup rolled past rows of polished sedans, its rusted fenders turning heads. Inside sat a man no one recognized, or so they thought. Cairo Holt, 38, with eyes like black glass and hands carved by years of invisible work. He carried nothing but a battered blue toolbox and a quiet fury forged over years. Behind tempered glass, executives in tailored suits smirked. "This is the expert," one scoffed, sipping imported coffee. "Looks like he fixes lawnmowers, not jets." The object of their derision was about to touch a $70 million Avante 900, owned by the most powerful woman in aviation. Cairo had heard it all before. He wasn't there to impress them. He was there to keep people alive, even those who thought. His hands too rough, his face too unfamiliar, and in less than 2 hours, their arrogance would cost them everything. Cairo approached the jet like a surgeon walking toward a dying patient. He ran his fingers along its skin, feeling for vibrations others would never notice. He didn't speak. He didn't need to. Every rivet, every panel whispered secrets only he could hear. The maintenance crew snickered. "He's just staring at it," one muttered, earning chuckles. Cairo kept going, listening for the anomaly. A faint hum. Wrong. Deliberate. He climbed a ladder, removed a panel, and froze. A critical regulator installed backward. Not an accident. At altitude, the slow leak would suffocate everyone aboard before alarms ever sounded. They would simply drift into silence and never wake. He descended quietly, toolbox in hand, walked straight to the terminal. The laughter died when they saw his face, calm, unreadable, but heavy with warning. "Ground this aircraft," he said flatly. "Now!" Celine Vera entered like gravity, everything bent toward her. Billionaire, founder of Vera Aerosystems, a name that moved markets and crushed opposition. "Cairo Holt," she said, reading the name stitched to his jacket. "I'm told you're refusing to clear my plane." "I'm telling you not to fly it," he replied. Behind her, advisors traded sharp glances, weighing risk versus profit in real time. Celine stared at him, a queen deciding whether to execute or knight a trespasser. "You know who you're talking to?" she asked. "I do," Cairo said. "And I know about the 8 bodies that will be if you take off." Silence tightened. Celine's lips curved. Not warmth, but respect. She recognized a rare thing, someone who spoke truth with no safety. "Net." "Show me," she ordered. Cairo led her to the jet, climbed, pointed. Her eyes narrowed. This wasn't negligence. This was a message, a warning cloaked in death. For the first time that morning, Celine Vera said nothing. She was thinking. The hangar sealed. Security swept the building. Phones were confiscated. No one left until Celine had answers. Cairo traced the sabotage. Whoever did this was precise, surgical, not a scare tactic, an assassination attempt masked as mechanical. "Failure. Can you fix it?" Celine asked. "Yes," Cairo replied, "but fixing the jet isn't your real problem." She understood instantly. If someone reached her plane, they could reach her again. This wasn't random. It was treason inside her empire. "You have 1 hour," she said. "Then we move." The hangar became a war room. Names surfaced, motives tangled, money trails, hinted at treachery. The outsider they mocked now stood at the center of power. He wasn't supposed to be here, but sometimes the wrong man at the wrong place is exactly the one the moment demands. Cairo dug deeper. He wasn't just patching a plane, he was tracing fingerprints hidden in steel. A part number led nowhere. A barcode pointed to a shell company without a face. But Cairo recognized the pattern. "Defense grade," he said, quietly. Celine turned sharply. "Meaning?" "Meaning this wasn't done by a jealous CEO. This was done by someone with clearance and funding. Her jaw tightened. Not shock, fury. Someone with reach had just tried to erase her. This wasn't about killing Selena Vera. It was about collapsing the structure she built. Remove the leader, destabilize the contracts, trigger panic. Billions would change hands overnight. Cairo fixed the jet, but betrayal wasn't a thing you patched with tools. Selena's voice was low. Keep that toolbox close. You just got promoted. Cairo didn't answer, but inside, a decision hardened. Whoever pulled the strings had picked the wrong sky to play in. They decided to fly, but not for business. It was bait now. Selena's jet lifted into the clouds with only 4 people aboard. Selene, Cairo, a trusted pilot, and a single guard. If someone planned to trigger a second failure, it would happen. In the air. Halfway through, an anomaly blinked across the dash. Pressure spike. Unlogged origin. Cairo moved before anyone could panic, ripping open a panel mid-flight. A hidden transmitter pulsed in a compartment no inspector would ever open. He yanked it free, cracked the casing. Inside, a signal module linked to a detonator, remote-armed, awaiting a code. Selene looked at him, pale but composed. They're still in the network. Not anymore, Cairo said, hurling the device into a pressure-sealed waste chute. But they'll know we found it. Now the hunt was mutual. Back on the ground, Selene's empire shook. Contracts froze. Investors panicked. Someone fed the press just enough to spark fear. Whispers of unsafe aircraft, systemic failures, corruption. Inside her boardroom, loyalty cracked. 3 executives resigned in a single afternoon. Stock dipped 11% by closing bell. Selene faced her directors. This isn't sabotage anymore, she said coldly. This is a coup. Only Cairo spoke. You've got a rat with reach, and you're bleeding in public. Selene studied him. A man who had no stake, no shares, no seat, yet the only one speaking without fear. Find me the hand behind this, she ordered. Before they finish what they started. Cairo worked like a man possessed. Logs, parts, signatures, every breadcrumb led to a name buried under layers of fake companies. Finally, a pattern emerged. Lysander Roque, Selene's former CFO, brilliant, bitter, and suddenly rich beyond explanation. He wasn't alone. He'd built an inside-out shadow of Vera Aero, siphoning contracts, bribing regulators, planting failures to discredit Selene before striking at her life. Selene read the dossier in silence. When she looked up, her eyes were colder than steel. I raised him, she whispered. I made him. Cairo set the folder down. And now we take him apart. They staged a deal too sweet for Roque to ignore. A contract transfer worth billions, disguised through neutral brokers, baiting him into showing his hand. At a midnight meet in a glass tower, Roque arrived smiling, convinced the kill was clean. Instead, he found Selene waiting, calm, deliberate, and a wall of federal agents behind mirrored doors. Always did like flying close to the sun, Selene said quietly. Guess you finally burned. Roque tried to run. He didn't make it 3 steps. The empire he tried to steal collapsed on top of him. By dawn, Selene's jet sat gleaming again, flight-ready, silent witness to a war fought in whispers and metal. She stood with Cairo on the tarmac. You saved more than lives, she said. You saved the name. I fixed what was broken, Cairo replied. Selene offered him a permanent post. He shook his head. I don't belong in glass towers, he said, turning toward his dented pickup. She watched him drive off into the morning haze. The mechanic no one respected. The man, who dismantled a coup with a wrench, silence, and resolve. Some stories end with a crash. This one ended with a takeoff. Please like and subscribe for more interesting stories.